All right, let's pull back the curtain on something that's pretty much woven into our modern lives, often completely unnoticed. And I'm talking about artificial intelligence. So let's start digging and actually find the AI you're interacting with, every single day.
Let me ask you a question, straight up. How many different AIs do you think you've used today? Just think about it for a sec. From the moment you woke up till right now. You got a number in your head?
Okay, well, I'm willing to bet the actual number is way, way higher than you guessed. See, AI isn't some far-off sci-fi concept anymore. It's here. It's working all around us, right now. So for the next few minutes, think of this as a scavenger hunt. We're going to go find it.
So, let's start with the most common ones, the absolute superstars of everyday AI. I like to call them the big three, because they are, quite literally, hiding in plain sight.
It turns out most of the time we bump into AI, it falls into one of three big categories. We've got AI that helps machines see the world, AI that gives us all those personalized suggestions, and AI that, understands our language. Let's break each one of those down.
Okay, first up, computer vision. This is the tech that basically gives machines a sense of sight. And it's not just about a camera taking a picture. It's about the AI understanding what's actually in that picture or that video feed.
And I guarantee you use this all the time, probably without even thinking about it. Ever unlocked your phone with your face? Yep, that's computer vision mapping your features. Thrown a funny filter on a selfie for Instagram or TikTok? That's computer vision tracking your face in real time. And it's the absolute core technology that helps self-driving cars see the road and, everything else on it.
All right, next up in our big three, recommendation systems. Think of this as the AI that's basically your own personal curator for, your entire digital life. It's constantly learning what you like by watching what you click on, what you buy, what you watch, and then it tries to predict what you're going to want next.
And you see this literally everywhere. It's the engine that powers Netflix suggesting your next binge watch. It's the reason YouTube's Up Next queue can feel so spookily accurate sometimes. And yeah, it's how Amazon shows you products that you suddenly feel like you can't live without. It's all about one thing, making your digital world completely, totally personal.
And that brings us to the final member of our big three, natural language processing, or NLP for short. This is pretty much the magic that lets us talk to our devices, using our own words, and for them to actually understand and talk back in a way that makes sense. It's the ultimate bridge between human language and computer code.
So yeah, if you've ever asked Siri for the weather, or told Alexa to play your favorite song, or even used ChatGPT to help you write an email, you've used NLP. It's also the horsepower behind tools like Google Translate, which is so cool because it doesn't just swap words one for one. It actually understands context and grammar to give you a translation that makes sense.
Okay, so that's the big three, the AI we pretty much see every single day. But there's another whole layer of AI working tirelessly behind the scenes. Let's call them the hidden helpers.
So first up, we've got a piece of tech that's super easy to confuse with NLP, but it's actually totally different. It's called speech recognition. And its only job, its one job, is to hear your voice and turn your spoken words into written text. That's it. Think about using voice to text to send a message, right? Or when you call a company and that automated system says, "Please state the reason for your call." That is speech recognition at work.
And here's the best way to think about the difference, because it's a super common mix-up. Speech recognition is the ear. It just hears the words and writes them down. But NLP, the thing we just talked about, that's the brain. It takes that text and actually understands the meaning and the intent behind it. So yeah, they often work together as a team, but they're two completely separate skills.
Okay, another hidden helper for you, robotic process automation, or RPA. Now, when you hear robotic, don't picture a physical robot on an assembly line. Nope. Think of this as a software bot that you can teach to do all the boring, repetitive digital stuff. Like copying and pasting data from one system to another, filling out endless forms, or processing invoices.
And the way it works is actually pretty simple. The software bot, it literally just watches a human do a task on a computer. It learns the whole pattern, all the clicks, the keystrokes, the logic, and then boom, it can do that exact same process perfectly, 24/7 without ever getting tired or making a typo. You can see why so many companies love this for handling the grunt work, right? It frees up people to do more creative things.
Okay, now we're getting to the foundation of, almost all of this, machine learning. Now, this isn't really a single tool, it's more of a core capability. See, instead of a programmer writing explicit code for every single possible scenario, with machine learning, you just feed the computer a ton of data and let it figure out the patterns for itself. It learns.
Maybe think of it this way. Machine learning is the engine that gives these other AIs their smarts. How does Netflix get better and better at suggesting movies you'll love? It's not magic. Its system is learning from the data of what millions and millions of people watch. That learning process, that's machine learning. It's the powerhouse humming away behind the scenes.
So, up to this point, we've seen AI that analyzes stuff, understands things, and automates tasks. But what about an AI that can create something completely new, from scratch? Well, that brings us to our final and probably the most talked about category of all.
I'm talking about generative AI. And just like the name says, it doesn't just interpret data that's already there. It uses everything it's learned to generate brand new original content, stuff that has never existed before. It's basically the artist, the writer, and the composer of the AI world.
And the range of what this stuff can create it's just mind-blowing. I mean, we've all seen ChatGPT whip up essays, poems, and emails, but it goes way beyond that. It can create these breathtakingly realistic or totally fantastical images with tools like Midjourney. And it doesn't stop there. It can compose music, and it can even write actual, functional computer code.
So as we start to wrap this up, there's one really big idea I want you to walk away with. When people say AI, we're not talking about some single, all-knowing superbrain like you see in the movies. That's honestly just one of the biggest misconceptions out there.
The reality is actually a lot more like a toolbox. That's it. AI is a toolbox. And inside you have all these different super specialized tools. Computer vision, that's your hammer. NLP is your wrench. Generative AI, that's your 3D printer. Each one is designed for a very specific job. And yeah, they often work together to build some really amazing, complex things.
So from now on, the next time you unlock your phone with your face, or get a perfect movie recommendation, or talk to a chatbot, you'll know exactly which tool from the AI toolbox is doing the work. So the question I want to leave you with is this. Now that you can actually spot them out there in the wild, which AI tool are you going to watch next?